A date proposal should be specific, not one of those "you busy Saturday" things. That's a part of date etiquette, and a girl likes it. A girl likes a fair chance to decide whether she wants the date or not.
Well, that's all right, Danny. I'm not doing anything Saturday night. I'd like to go.
It's up to Danny to give Alice all the details of the date, but if he leaves anything out, she can always ask.
It ought to be good. I think we'll enjoy it. Let's see. I'll pick you up a week from Saturday, about, 7:30. How's that?
Erving Goffman's presentation of self in everyday life is a foundational sociological text that uses the metaphor of theatre to explain how individuals manage their identities in social interactions. Goffman argues that everyday life involves a series of performances in which people present themselves in ways that will be accepted and understood by others. Through their performances, individuals work to establish and maintain a particular definition of the situation that benefits them and aligns with their goals. These performances are not necessarily about deceit or manipulation, but about fitting into social life by managing impressions and guiding how others interpret the interaction. Central to Goffman's work is the idea of performance. A performance is any activity by an individual that aims to influence how others perceive them. Performances are guided by social norms and expectations. They signal to others what they can expect of us in a given situation and what we can expect of them. Through our performances, individuals are able to construct and maintain a shared definition of the situation.
If anything ever should come up about one of us, let's ask right out. Get the facts. No jumping to conclusions.
Okay, but I'd never jump to conclusions about you. After all, you're my best friend.
I know. But sometimes people like Frida Thompson can cause an awful lot of trouble between two good friends like us.
To explain how these performances operate, Goffman introduces the distinction between the front stage and the backstage. The front stage is where the individual performs their role in front of others. Behaviour in the front stage is often scripted and formal because it is meant for public viewing. For instance, a teacher delivering a lesson in a classroom behaves in a deliberate and structured way to maintain authority and professionalism. In contrast, the backstage is where individuals can step out of their roles and behave in ways that might be inappropriate or too personal for the front stage. In the staff room, that same teacher might complain about students, act informally, or even express doubt about their own abilities. This backstage is crucial because it provides the individual with a space to relax and prepare for their next performance. Goffman also breaks down the components of the front region into three key elements: setting, appearance, and manner. Setting refers to the physical environment and props that support the performance. For example, a judge's courtroom includes a raised bench, a gavel, and formal robes, all of which help to establish an atmosphere of authority and seriousness. Appearance includes all the visible features of the individual that signal their social status or role, such as clothing, grooming, and posture. A police officer's uniform, for instance, communicates authority before they even speak. Manner refers to the individual's style of interaction, how they behave in the moment. Consider how a therapist's calm and attentive demeanour reassures the client that they are being heard and taken seriously.
The importance of first impressions. They exert a tremendous influence on our lives. First impressions are lasting and difficult to overcome. This emphasizes the importance of our first meeting with new employees. For new employees are naturally under high nervous tension, which makes them keenly sensitive to impressions, favorable or unfavorable. This sensitiveness gives us an ideal opportunity for creating favorable and lasting impressions.
Another important idea in Goffman's framework is impression management, a process by which individuals attempt to control the image they project to others. People constantly work to shape how they are seen, using both verbal and non-verbal cues. For example, in a job interview, a candidate might dress smartly, arrive early, and speak confidently, all actions designed to give the impression of competence and reliability. Impression management is not limited to formal settings. Even in casual conversations, people monitor how they are being perceived and adjust their behaviour accordingly. Dramatic realisation refers to the way individuals actively highlight certain aspects of their identity during a performance, especially when those aspects might otherwise go unnoticed. It is not enough simply to be competent or responsible. The individual must also demonstrate these traits to the audience in a clear and convincing way. And so, a doctor may pause to explain a diagnosis in simple language, showing not just their medical knowledge, but also their care and attention. In this way, qualities such as expertise, concern and authority are not just possessed, but must be made visible to others. The performance becomes a way of drawing attention to what is socially significant about the self in that moment. But sometimes, performances fail. This is where the concept of embarrassment becomes important. Embarrassment occurs when something disrupts the expected definition of the situation. It signals a break between the intended performance and what the audience actually sees. For example, if a speaker forgets their words during a formal presentation, or if a student accidentally contradicts a teacher in front of the class, both the performer and the audience experience discomfort. In these moments, individuals often act quickly to repair the situation. They may laugh it off, apologise, or shift the topic to restore order and save face. Embarrassment reminds us how fragile our performances can be and how much effort goes into maintaining them.
Laura, what's wrong?
Nothing's wrong. Go away.
Social life is not only about individual performances, but also about group cooperation.
Why don't we all go and take a look at the towels that are coming out of the Westinghouse laundromat? Now, you ladies have all seen with your very own eyes just how much sand each of these center post agitator machines lifts.
Performances are often carried out by teams of individuals who collaborate to maintain a shared definition of the situation. A family hosting guests might work together to create the impression of harmony and hospitality, even if there were arguments earlier in the day. And hospitality staff in a restaurant work together to ensure a pleasant experience for their customers. each member knows their part in the performance and helps others stay in character. Underlying all of this is Goffman's view of the self as something that is not fixed or internal, but is instead constructed through social interaction. The self does not exist prior to performance, it emerges from it. We become who we are by enacting roles and responding to how others react to us. This view challenges the idea of an inner, unchanging personality. Instead, Goffman suggests that the self is a social product, built up and sustained through a series of public displays. For example, someone might come to see themselves as a leader, not because of an inner quality, but because they successfully perform leadership in different situations and others treat them accordingly. The self, in Goffman's analysis, is the outcome of ongoing social processes, not the starting point. Goffman's presentation of self in everyday life provides a powerful way to understand how people navigate social life. By treating everyday interactions as performances, Goffman reveals the careful work individuals do to manage impressions, maintain roles, and fit into different settings. His theatrical metaphor helps us to see the complexity behind even the most ordinary social encounters, and reminds us that social reality is something people actively construct through interaction.